Good afternoon, it's Dave at ATI Watch Reviews. Please smash the like button, please smash the subscribe button for more awesome watch content. Little wristwatch check, I've got my good old steel dive on. One of the cheapest homages out there. It is a quartz, but it does have a ceramic bezel, it's 200 meter water resist, and it is completely solid stainless steel bracelet. Although the class could be improved, but this video is about another Gshock, and I've actually had this watch. Well, I've had this general reference before, but I've not had this exact model. This is the King G. Now this is the GXW-56BB-1ER, which means that it is multiband. W means wave scepter. And this is the King, basically. They call it the King, and it is a super tough, like even tougher, I believe, than normal Gshox. It's got that hollow core guard structure inside of it. Now it is actually, this style of watch came out in 2010. But I had the GXW-56-1B, which was a positive display. But this is a full negative display, a stealth model, but it has multiband, so it has perfect timekeeping in Britain, or 6 countries worldwide. Now, as you can see, wow, that actually looks pretty nice. That looks pretty clear there. Look at that. But I already knew that the legibility is poor on this thing. I already knew that because I've had it before. I've had this watch in the positive model that I've just talked about then, which has like a yellow positive dial with yellow markings, which is a beautiful watch, but I had it about 4 or 5 years ago. And also 4 or 5 years ago, I had this watch, but without the multiband, just the GX56. But I decided to pick it up in the multiband version. Now, this, just a little bit overview of specs. It's not a sensor model, but it is obviously a Gshock, and it is tough solar. It's tough solar, as you can see there. It's multiband 6, so it's perfect timekeeping. It's the negative one, so it's the all stealth. It's only nominally 56. Ah, that is metal. Yeah, it is metal. I'm glad it's metal. Some of them have just a stainless steel pusher, but this one has a colour applied to it, like a gunmetal or like a very dark grey. Yeah, so obviously 200 meter water resist, world time, all that. This also has the auto light feature, so if you turn it to you on the wrist, it will turn the light on when you activate it. I'll just put the light on so you can see. The light is pretty good. It's not absolutely amazing. It's pretty good. Sorry about that. You can change the duration, I believe, of the light. I'll put it on my wrist. I've wanted to get this model. It is an absolute beast of a watch. It is massive. It's about, oh God, that is a beast. But it's only 88 grams. But that is a beast. It's a big slab on your wrist. But I actually quite like it. It's a big rectangular slab. Now, I think nominal it's about 17 mil thick. It is a beast on the wrist. I mean, it's not going to be for the small wrists. The sizing, I think, is about 55 by 53. But again, I can tell you now that this feels bigger than the Mudmasters that I wear. I think it's because the lug width at the top is big as well. The lug to lug is going to be big, and obviously the width is big. It is a big one, no question about it. They call it the King G. and I got it in the multiband, so you get perfect timekeeping. Absolute beast of a watch. This will go nicely with my Gravity Master and Mud Master. Takes a bit of getting used to reading that negative dial. Outside it is easy to read, or fairly easy, but obviously it, as the at different angles, it is not amazing to read. So you've got to get used to that if you're going to wear negative displays like this. Obviously some of the Pro Treks and stuff have brilliant negative displays, but this one doesn't. Absolutely rock solid watch. It is light, but it does feel big on the wrist, absolutely. Interesting band. It is a slightly different resin, it feels, than the other G-Shocks. It's quite supple, but it also is tough. But yeah, that is, I got it in an amazing deal basically on Amazon. You can get you can pick up the non-multiband version for about 30 quid cheaper at the minute, for less than 100 quid, which is an absolute bargain. Yeah, but for just 30 quid extra, I just had to get it with the timekeeping, with the synchronized timekeeping. I just had to. The solar battery is going to last for years and years. It's definitely another contender if you want a digital watch. If you want a straight up amazing positive dial, then get the one I had previously, which is the GXW-56B-1ER. Now, when I looked for it, I couldn't find many new online because I don't know if it's been discontinued yet, but that came out years and years ago, but they are still making them. They were still making them a few years ago. I'm not quite sure if they are still making that particular reference. But like I said, you want at least 6.5 inches to wear this watch because it's so big. And it will get a bit sweaty as the day goes on because it's so big and thick. But it is still quite light. It's only about 90 grams, which is nothing really. I mean, if you love the G-Shock squares, this is like the big daddy or the big cousin to the G-Shock squares. It's a square, if you will. I know it's a rectangle, but you get what I mean. But it is a much bigger, beefed up version of it, which I can't wear the G-Shock squares. I can't because they're too small. They wear like a 39mm watch, the G-Shock squares, which for my wrist are just way too small. They have to be the big one like this. Now, this is a touch too big, it is, I'll admit that, but it just looks fantastic. I love it. So I'm glad to have it back in my collection. I'll get a full review up soon. Thanks for checking my channel out. I might actually put a picture on of the previous models that I had, so you understand for reference. I'll probably put them into the video. It's been Dave. Have a great day. Cheers.